علما ربي يسر بلا تعسر وتمم بالخير. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and welcome to this session. And I hope that it will be productive. We will be learning from each other. And this is one of my favorite topics because every time when I stand here as my duty, I learn better than the participants. And that is why the reason behind being the resource person, that is the best way to learn. So I keep on learning by standing in front of highly qualified, experienced faculty members. It does not mean that I am more qualified or better than you or most of you, but this is how we do things. So sometimes we call it first among the equals, or whosoever is the in charge of the session is supposed to be here. In Japanese, a very famous term is now known as ikigai. And the simple meaning of ikigai is the reason for being. Okay, why are you there? And when you have the justification why I am there, why I get up early on every day to fulfill what kind of goals and what is the aim of my life, when you answer such existential questions for your existence and you have good answers, that is called your ikigai. So today we will be trying to identify our ikigai in teaching, or our reason for teaching. What is the philosophy behind whatever we do in the role of teaching? What is philosophy behind all those activities and decisions and steps, or whatever we do inside the class or outside the class? That is the philosophy of it. Is not typically philosophy discussion today, but to some extent I will try to make it very simple. So this is the goal for this session, to identify a teaching philosophy that aligns with your discipline. Since you people are from various disciplines, so your today's task is to identify the most suitable philosophy of teaching which actually resonates and aligns with your own discipline and your own pedagogical principles, instructional methods, and educational objectives or measurement tools, whatever you use in your class. Okay, what philosophy you follow there. Okay, so this is a philosophical joke. If you could please read it yourself. So if we convert this dialogue into our teaching, a teacher-student dialogue, okay? So why are you teaching what you are teaching? So what could be the possible answer? Might be the situation is, if you don't have your clear philosophy of education, the situation is that we are unable to justify whatever we are doing in the name of teaching inside the classroom, outside the classroom, for classroom management, for student interactions, for activity creation, whatever we are doing, maybe we will not be having justification or good philosophical answer why we are doing what we are doing. As you see in this discussion, that the one character is unable to even understand the question and the depth of the question. Okay? So it happens to us, even as a teacher, if we do not follow a certain philosophy of education and we do not have that kind of philosophical mind, then we remain confused and unable to answer such questions. Why I am following a certain method for my classes, whether it is lecture method, discussion method, assignment method, whatever it is. Why? So if you are clear why, then that is the reason behind your selection. So it should not be the case of our teaching, as it is the case in this dialogue. Yeah. Here are some statements, and there are philosophies behind those statements. Can you please identify any philosophy behind any statement? Maybe some of you can say that I know what is the philosophy behind to be or not to be. So, one, if you had to pick one of these as your teaching motto or educational motto, which one would you like to? Hmm? Mhm. Socrates says that to be is to do. Okay. So can you please elaborate what do you mean by to be is to do? So, what I guess from this means that your identity is based on your actions. I think that's main focus of Socrates. Okay. So Socrates tries to say that we should not measure people from their actions, but from their very existence, from their personal quality. Personal quality matters rather than, maybe people do righteous deeds because of camera. When we say camera ki aankh dekh rahi hai, people try to do things which are right, but they are not right people. So if he is trying to say to be is to do, be is more important than doing. Being is more important than doing. This is going to be his philosophy. So, any other your favorite statement here? If you have to pick one, if not, then yabba dabba do. That is easier one. To be, to do, be, do, be, do, be, do. How can you interpret it? Do, be, do, be. Learning from doing. Okay. Do, be. Do, reflect, relate, internalize. Learning from your doing. Do, be, do. So in rhythm, you can say doobie doobie do, doobie doobie do, but this is a pure philosophical statement. Do, be, do, be. Okay. To be or not to be, Madam Musarrat, in English, this is your area, what Shakespeare trying to say. Okay. But it is important to understand, like you were saying, that what is your existence? What is being? And what is it like if you do not have existence, or you do not have a personality, or you do not have a being? So where do you make contrasts? Well, thank you. So, in the same way, as teachers, educators, you must develop your own philosophical educational statement. Very short, simple, clear, distinctive statement that this is the philosophy behind all of your teaching, learning activities. So this is what people do in philosophy. So if we define philosophy, very simple. It is very easy to understand. Philosophy means love of wisdom. In science, when we define science, that is love of knowledge. This is the difference between science, philosophy, and religion. In science, we say love for information or love of knowledge. In philosophy, we say love of wisdom, that is more than just knowledge and information. In religion, we say love to be wise. Okay, that is the practical being or becoming the wise. Okay. So that is love of, and that it shows that there is always human desire to seek truth and understand. Then what is teaching philosophy? It is your very well drafted and written statement of your teaching. Okay. It expresses your fundamental beliefs. What are your fundamental beliefs about education? Okay. What are your belief in education? What do you believe? That what is the meaning of education? What are the goals of education? What is the best method to teach students in your view? There are a lot of methods, so many. Okay. But which one you like the most and why? Why? Why is more important? Why are you teaching the way you are teaching? Why are you creating this assignment? Why? And you have to give the answer why. Not maybe sometimes we can give the answer, but answer still not philosophical. We can say, I am creating this assignment because it is connected to my SLO. Fine, it makes sense. But why this SLO? Then why this SLO? So you have to find out the foundation upon which your whole educational and teaching philosophy stands. Okay. You have to find out. You have to explore that foundation. The whole building of your teaching style stands on. Okay. So when you write it down and you have a paragraph, maybe very precise or concise paragraph or a statement, you can say, this is my philosophy of, and this is what FC College actually asks us to have a good reason. Whatever we are free to choose our method and activities and styles and teaching, learning and syllabus and whatever you want. You are free. You are not given a ready-made syllabus from any department. Maybe sometimes in very few cases at FC College, they are bound to follow a certain type of syllabus or curriculum. Like in pharmacy, I know that there are some constraints by the council, but otherwise in the university we are free to select whatever we want to. But we must have a philosophical justification of that. If I ask you the question, how do you define the purpose of education? What is the purpose of education to you? There is no one certain answer. There are many. But how would you? Is it to develop informed learners, or to transform people or the society, individuals or the society, or liberate them? You believe in freedom and you say that education is meant for freedom. How would you define that? It depends upon your philosophy of education. Okay? And you must connect it with your philosophy of education. So here you see the wisdom behind your why SLOs, whatever you have selected, why this certain method, why this syllabus, why this assessment tool, why this certain role as a teacher. What is your specific role in the teacher? Are you a philosopher in the class, facilitator in the class, subject expert in the class, coach in the class, advisor in the class? What is your role which you adopt in the class? Okay. And why this certain role? What would you like to be called for you as a teacher? Okay. Facilitator, advisor, sage by the stage. Okay. Advisor, coach, expert, what? And the role of the student vis-a-vis your role as a teacher, and then the role of the students, they should be in alignment. Okay. If you are the mentor in the class, your student would be called mentee. Okay. Not the trainee. Maybe if you are the coach and you are teaching a skill, then he is your trainee or player in the game. Okay. But if you are expert, then you would love to call other students. You are the expert, you know better than them, and they are your students and learners. So, but it all these areas and these components all should be based upon your philosophy. Philosophy is the wisdom behind all this. Unfortunately, philosophy is missing in most of the cases. We do all these things without connecting why. This is the central why. Why this? Why this? Why this? Why this? Why? You all have to find out and explore today the why. This is my why in an educative way, okay? Learned way. Yeah. When you have this clear philosophy of education, it helps you in many ways. It clarifies purpose, values, guides your teaching practices, ensures consistency and integrity, communicates vision. And so, this is the wisdom behind your teaching. The wisdom behind, if there is no wisdom, no clarity, it means we are doing something without giving it meaning or purpose or direction. We are just in the business. We are just in doing something just for the sake of doing because we are supposed to do it. In the dialogue, he said, because we are supposed to be here. We have arrived here. Why are you here in FC College? Because I applied here. Okay. I have been selected. These are shallow answers. So let's start with this activity. Mhm. This is very easy to understand. What you have to do here, you have to read it carefully, and please, you have to just select the row, which one is actually for you. Okay, and you see. So you can easily find out what is the possible philosophy for your teaching from this sheet. After a few minutes, I would ask you that which row? Where are you? In which row?
Excuse me, sir. Is it, do you want us to select the columns or rows?
I would request you to see in the rows. Identify that which row is.
The columns.
Sorry, in columns, not in rows, in columns. Uh, yes, you see that here are subjects mentioned here, 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 and here. Okay. So this is better. This is column for these disciplines. This is column for these disciplines. then within the discipline, maybe the nature of your course is slightly different, and then you apply from things from other column. Okay. But fundamentally, your discipline has a certain philosophy.
All right. Even then, if there are two different subjects, can I have two philosophies, or I need to focus on one only, or a
No.
merger of two?
Yeah. We are human beings, and we are not predetermined, bound by any row or column. We can move here and there, but we have to justify it. Why?
I also have the same question. Can we select more than one philosophy or
Yes, you can. All four even. Okay. But if you understand, then. Mhm.
Are we supposed to return these papers or not?
What?
Are we supposed to return these papers or
Uh-huh.
not?
I
Can we keep these,
or
or
you can't keep it with yourself. And you have to write here as well. From the other side of the page, there are ready-made statements. Okay. Yeah. Then you have to pick one and copy here. Or you can make some changes. Okay, let's discuss, please. Let's discuss the sheet. In the first row, there are four major general philosophies. Okay. Now let's understand what is philosophy from philosophy department. General philosophy means what is true to you, what is real. In your philosophy, what is real? There are four major philosophies. What is truth? What is reality? What is the most important thing in this universe? Okay. The first philosophy is idealism. Idealism is of the view that ideas are real. Ideas are real. Okay. Physical things and phenomena is not as real as the idea behind this phenomena. This is idealism. Realism says, no, whatever is physical, there, tangible, empirical, that is truth. That is truth. That is realism. Okay? In pragmatism, they say, no, it is reality is neither ideal, mental, it is not physical, it is experiential. When you do things, things happen. Okay? Maybe you do something, even God comes in your experience. So this is learning by experience. Reality is constructed through your experience. This is a school in philosophy which says pragmatism. Reality depends upon your experience, working, practicals. So we cannot say that it is ideal or physical. Then existentialism is another school. It says reality is individual, personal, existential. If you are there, something is there, could be anything, and you can relate it to you that it is reality for me. But if you are there, if you are not there, nothing is real. If you are not there, nothing is real. Does not exist anything. If you don't exist, nothing exists. This is the stance of existentialism. For example, if you close your eyes, sun is not there for you. If you close your eyes, the universe diminishes. It immediately it vanishes. So it means you should be there, and you should believe I exist. So that is why Sartre is a philosopher behind this. He says existence precedes essence. Existence precedes essence. There is no ready-made essence to your life. If you exist, you can give the meaning to anything. Now, these are general philosophies. Now, according to the nature of your discipline mentioned here, curriculum, okay, you can identify the nature of, for example, my area is religion. My area is religion. Religion fundamentally believes in beliefs. And beliefs are mental things. So I have to say that I follow idealism. Therefore, when I apply this idealism in education, this is called education philosophy, which is known as perennialism. I am perennialist. I am perennialist in education. I am idealist in general Greek philosophy. Okay. Why? Why I am perennialist? Because this is the nature of my subject. I teach about God. I teach about hereafter. Okay. I don't teach much about this physical world, this cosmology, this material world. This is the job of scientists. Okay. They teach about this physical world. I don't. Okay. So I can say that I am perennialist. So in this way, you have to first understand what is most important here and how it is applied in education here. For example, if you believe that, yes, this physical world is really real, Aristotle is of the view that this physical world is reality. So it means an educationist, when you teach this realism in education, you are called essentialist. You teach only subjects and the subject matter and the syllabus, which is really essential for students to live well here and now in this world. Okay? Then you teach. And the way you apply it in your subject matter, it is accordingly selected in this column. Okay, so you must be able to say, I am essentialist. I teach only those books, those articles, those reading materials which are essentials for the students to learn to live well in this physical world. Because philosophically, I believe that this world is real. If you are religious minded, now it is important, please, if you just put a little bit focus here on slide. If you are a religious minded, you believe that this world is nothing. This is illusion, delusion. This is not so much important as other world, hereafter, before this world. That is more important. This is your philosophy, but you are here in this discipline. Sciences and mathematics, you are here in this discipline, but this is your philosophy. Then you maybe have some consistency issues that you are a teacher in the class who does not believe that this phenomena is important. This world is important, highly important, really important, but you are teaching this subject half-heartedly. Half-heartedly. Because your mind is here, but you are physically here. If I ask you the question, as it was in the dialogue of cartoons, why are you here? And if you say, because I studied here, I applied here, I was selected here, but I believe that this column is more important for life. So this is inconsistency. Then you have to rethink whether there is alignment between my subject discipline and my mind or not. Even if you have this philosophy of life, but you are here, please change your cap. All the time in the class, put this cap on, not this one. Put this. When you are out of the class, than this one. Okay. You have to say in the class, this subject is more important than all other subjects. You cannot say that religion is more important than physics if you are the teacher of the physics in the class. You can say that in your office or out of the class, that to me, if you ask me that what is my stance, if you compare between religion and physics, which one is more important? You can say, I am in the class, physics is more important. But I have different view as well out of class. That is our academic honesty issue and professionalism. That is the requirement of the professionalism. That is the question of consistency. I should be consistent in my teaching philosophy, teaching method, teaching activities, teaching assignments, measurement tools. So people of scientific mind are not fit to teach religion, and religious people are not fit to teach science if they cannot change their cap accordingly. So then, accordingly, you have to select your teaching method, curriculum, teaching method. You see here are different teaching methods. Then classroom environment, your classroom should be teacher-centered, in this column, must be teachers. No, we should not say that this university is student-centered, should be, but not in all classes. That's good. If it is student-centered, that's good, but the nature of my subject is different. So my subject works very well because I am teaching traditional perennial philosophy to my student. I am trying to connect this generation Z to their tradition. So I have to be authoritarian in the class. So they should learn how to submit to the authority. That is our tradition. And I am the teacher of tradition. I should not put myself into the shoe of generation Z, believing that they are now more relative people, they are more free people. Okay, they cannot respect traditions and perennial philosophies and principles. No, my role is to try my best to connect them to their past and past principles and past traditions. So that is why I have to create a teacher-centered classroom, maintaining the respect of the student, obviously maintaining the respect of the student, but philosophically I understand that students must learn in my class that how to accept the authority of seniors, the teachers and the parents. And maybe in other classes, the case is different according to the nature of the subject. So here is, we cannot say teacher-centered classroom is outdated, should not be outdated. If the subject is there, if the discipline is there, it is very much important still in every university or in any university. Okay. But here we can say content centered. Content is more important here. Market is more important here. Student is more important here in existential, because this is the column where we believe that teach for self-actualization, for personal development of the learner. So it should be learner-centered classroom in psychology and spirituality. You are more important. The difference between religion and spirituality is about ourselves. Religion is about God. Religion is all about God. Spirituality is about human self. So human self is more important in spirituality even than God. In spirituality, human self-awareness, self-consciousness, self-definement, self-purification, self-elevation, that is the whole philosophy of spirituality. So, now please, again, select your column, and from the other side of the page, there are ready-made statements. You can pick one and please copy it there so that you could take it with you that this is my philosophy of education. Now I can justify why I teach the way I teach, why I select this reading material, why I create this activity, and why I develop this tool for assessment. And now I would like you to please share your choice.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that. I am from sociology department, so we believe that reality is socially constructed. And when we talk about our teaching philosophy, it's more fall into the social constructivism.
Mhm.
So when I look into the teaching philosophies, तो बहुत ज़्यादा fall कर रही है within pragmatism.
Mm.
So how do you relate it with social constructivism?
You see, in pragmatism, here you find that this is sociology and it is in pragmatism. Yes, it is there, already there in pragmatism.
So we can also say that our teaching philosophy is social constructivism.
Yeah, you can say. Yeah, there are more than four. Okay. Even general philosophies are more than four, and educational philosophies are more. There are more names. Okay. But you can say, I am pragmatist, progressivist, okay, social contrasts, whatever you like. But you should be knowing that this is my column. Okay. This is my. Yes. Already you are saying that in with others, right? Yeah.
And when we talk about experiential learning is again when you use all senses and we are working together. So we're building knowledge. So constructivist is when you're building your knowledge. Social constructivist is knowledge that you're building with others. And that usually is experiential in nature.
I would like to ask all people who you are, and you are to say that I am perennialist, essentialist, progressivist, or humanist. You. Mhm.
Psychology, and I feel like my teaching philosophy is somewhat overlapping between pragmatism and existentialism.
Mhm.
So I feel like I fall within both the humanism and progressivism.
Mhm.
So is that possible to have two overlapping philosophies?
The same question came earlier. I would suggest you first be the expert of one area, and then accordingly you can jump into another column if it is relevant to your segment of the course or the nature of the course. You teach different courses. A 100 level course is different nature, a 300 level is course different. So maybe you can switch over from one column to another, but essentially your subject is a specifically in one specific column. It falls here, but yes, then you can apply it. But first, please, I would like to know from you, where are you, okay, in education philosophies? For example, I would say I am perennialist, and if you ask me why perennialist, I can say that this is the nature of my subject. So it means, you can say, it means you believe that ideas are true and they are reality. Yes, I believe. So what you are? Humanist. Okay. Madam, you please. You, okay. No issue. Okay. Yeah. You are also, okay. Humanist. Yes, next please. Okay. All psychology people there. Okay. Next. Psychology department. Yes, madam. You. Progressivism. And your department? Business management economics. Progressivism. So now from this session, we will take this message, and you will be calling yourself that I am progressivist. Okay. And philosophy, pragmatism. Okay. I believe in pragmatism. Maybe you do not believe in pragmatism as a Muslim or whatsoever is your religion, okay? But as educationist, educationist, if you believe in progressivism, then this is the general philosophy. There should not be disalignment inside the class. Disalignments inside the class. That is our professionalism. Next, please, madam. Perennial? Yeah, okay.
Pragmatism.
Essentialism.
Subjects like drawing, painting, and so where students' individuality is also really important.
Okay.
How differently they're thinking and approaching it.
But in the beginning, please avoid mixed method. Okay? Because it is confusing them. Next, who are you as educationist?
I'm progressivist, and because my subject is industrial pharmacy, where we apply knowledge to develop medicines.
Okay, thank you. Next, who are you, sir?
I am Nasir Ali from pharmacy department, and I am also progressivist. As I teach the pharmaceutical analysis, that is analysis of drugs, the new drug development, and the new methods to develop the drug, in fact. So that that requires some sort of critical thinking, the learned knowledge that must be applied to the practical form. So that's why I am progressivist.
Okay, so our progressive people, Dr. Ataur Rahman, you too?
My name is Ataur Rahman, Dr. Ataur Rahman from Pharmacy Department. Initially, I would say for the undergraduate work, I am essentialist.
Okay.
Because we have to teach a fixed curriculum. I am mainly, my domain is pharmacology, study of drugs, effects of drugs, and these are the things which have been already developed and we have to make the students learn them. But on higher level of education, for example, when we are doing research and PhD, then I would say myself progressive. Yes. So these are the combination of two. I don't know if it's adulteration or not.
Yeah. It will burn. They will work. Okay. If you know them, they will work.
I'm Ms. Maria Abdulrazak, and I teach biochemistry and community pharmacy, and I will go with progressivism because over there also we are actually teaching problem solving and critical thinking in our syllabus.
Okay, thank you. Next.
My name is Rizwan from pharmacy department, and I believe essentialism because my goal is to prepare students with strong subject knowledge. Because my subject is physiology, something related to human mechanism and structures and function. So I believe that students should be having a very good subject knowledge in my subject.
Right. Understandable.
My name is Dr. Imran, and I have similar subject like Dr. Taur Rahman, pharmacology. It's in my subject, I think progressive approach is required, critical thinking, along with the essentialism, core knowledge and subject knowledge is very essential, but somewhere humanism is also involved. When we concern with the utilization of medication to the development of humanity for community growth and public health. So humanism is also very important to teach this in this context. So I think somewhere this is also involved in the
Okay, we all are contributing towards the development of the students, but please be clear that some of us are working with their body, some with their mind, some with their emotions and heart, some with their soul. So you must understand what is your area where you are developing your students as their personality, maybe physically, okay, or mentally, or emotionally stable people, or wise people, or spiritually elevated people. Okay, this is we need to understand. Next.
Okay, so
okay.
so I'm a humanist because I teach creative writing, and I think that a lot of emotions are involved, and personal growth and self realization needs to be fostered when students are doing their creative writing courses. So.
Okay, thank you. Hurry up, please, because you have to leave, but maybe there are classes.
Sir, progressive. From School of Management, it's progressive.
Oh, yeah, should be progressive.
Sir, Nisar, I'm a religious study department. I believe in
Perennialism?
Perennialism as well as progressivism.
Progressivism, I should have a great concern if you say progressivism. If you say that also humanism, I will be tolerant. But if you say I am from religious studies and in progressivism, then there will be huge concern. You have to review it. Next, please.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. I'm Dr. Afaf from School of Management. I generally follow pragmatism. So I'm a progressivist, but with a little hint of humanist. Because as an educationist, I believe my goal is to develop the individuals in class and make them intellectually curious. And at the same time, I'm focusing on their personal development as well. So broadly speaking, I think I'm progressivist, yes.
Okay.
With a hint of humanist.
Again, I would listening from you people, again, I would request you not to be trapped in distraction that it looks good. Here it looks good because this is student centered and we all jump here because we want to develop people. So that is why here. Still, I would draw your attention. It should not be your distraction. It should be well-informed decision. It really matters for my course. Otherwise, it is good to stay in your line and in your column. It is good to stay here. Don't be distracted that you try to go there or there or there just because you feel that they looks good as well. Okay. It should not be the case.
One question.
Yeah.
If I believe that I am responsible for making them ethical, responsible future professionals and leaders, so do I have to follow humanist approach or not?
Again, it is your secondary role because, for example, being a business person, your main area is to develop projects for them which are more related to economic growth of the country and their economic stability. That is more important for your subject.
Assalamualaikum. This is Dr. Samreen from School of Management. As per your guidance, I'm sticking to progressivist, right? But my subject, I teach accounting as well. That goes into realism.
Yeah.
At times, right? Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Next.
Assalamualaikum. This is Fahmid Idris. I'm from the School of Management, Progressivism.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Ahmad.
Yeah, same as Dr. Samreen, because I also teach accounting, and I think we fall in realism because there is no personal opinions in my subject. So it is 2 plus 2. So yeah, realism.
Yeah. In essentialism or realism, they say 3 R's. R's are very important: reading, writing, arithmetic. Reading, writing, arithmetic. They say that most of the time. So,
yeah. Dr. Ramzan, I'm teaching accounting and finance. So basically, we focus on problem solving skills. So I follow progressive.
Thank you.
Okay, Hamza Harun and School of Management as well. Okay, I'm more in progressivism with some slight hints of essentialism.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That is overlapping.
Assalamualaikum, sir. I think that existentialism and humanism goes well with what I teach. I teach literature, and also it has connection with philosophy. Sometimes philosophy people become literature writers, and I also teach creative writing courses. So these go well.
Okay. Thank you. So here is the concluding statement. Philosophy gives education its direction, while education gives philosophy its life. So this is what we are doing, and we should do whatever we are doing. We should know why we are doing, and that is the wisdom behind that. So today we have learned what is the wisdom behind whatever I do in the name of teaching or education as my choice. Teaching method, your assignments, your measurement tools, all should be justifiable. Well, thank you very much for being here and for your attention.